All right, grade 7, we've got a lesson here, 100 day. Remember, we're going to be jumping on the meat, but I'll make a quick video anyways today about your lesson. We're looking at irrational numbers, and I quickly went on the web to find a nice little picture here that shows it for you in a simple way. Irrational numbers belong to the real number family. So if I type in right over here, real numbers, you have both rational and irrational. Now you say the easiest ways to think about it is rational means that you can put it into a ratio. Irrational means you cannot put it into a ratio. It's irrational. It's a number that doesn't end. So that's an irrational number. So there's no ratio to put it there. So that's really what they're looking at in this lesson. So if you turn to lesson 100 with me, I'll go through the practice set, and we're going to look at how to find estimating square roots as well, how we could do that as well. So most of you are getting familiar with all the different squares that are out there. You've worked with a Pythagorean theorem, so some of these numbers are fairly easy for you to work with. So A, if we look at A says, which two whole numbers, which two consecutive whole numbers would you find A in? So if I grab the square root of 7, we know that 2 squared is 4, and 3 squared is 9, right? So we know that it is between 2 and 3. That makes sense? So if we go to the next one, B, we have 70. Well, we know if we go 4 gives us 16, 5 gives us 25. You can see how we're going to, 6 gives us 36, 7 gives us 49, 8 gives us 64, 9 gives us 81. I'm just going to leave those there, but you can see that we're between 8 and 9. So the answer for B is 8 and 9. C says 700. So why don't we flip back here for a second, pull up our calculator, and type in 700 and put our square root in, and you can see that we get a number that says 26.45. So we know that the whole numbers that it's in between will be, so the square root of 700 is going to be 26 and 27. All right, D. All right. Draw a number, no, D is find X. So we have a right angle here, we have 1 and 1, and they said find X. Well, we know Pythagorean theorem says a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So we have 1 plus 1 equals 2. So we know that X would be the square root of 2. Moving on, we look at E. And E has 2, Y. We have our angle there, our right angle there. So we know that this is our hypotenuse. So we're going to actually have y squared plus 1 squared equals 2. So y squared equals, so no, it equals 4. My bad, I'll erase that nicely. Equals 4. So y squared equals 4. So we have to do a square root on both of those. Nope, sorry. I'm going too fast for myself. Y squared does not equals 4. Y squared equals 4, subtract 1. So y squared equals 3. Now we have to square root these. So our answer, y equals the square root of 3. All right, and the last one, F, is draw a number line, which we are going to do, and put these on the number line. Okay, so if we have a negative 1, let's go 0, 1, maybe we can make this line a little bit longer, 2. All right, so if we look at the square root of 3, well, we know that the square root of 1 is 1, the square root of 4 is 2, so we know that the square root of 3 is going to be somewhere in here. So square root of 3. 0.33 repeating, well, that's going to be somewhere right around here. So 0.3 repeating. Pi is 3.14, so it looks like I didn't make my number line quite long enough. We have 3, and so here we got our friend pi. And the last one it asks us is for negative 1/3, which is the same as 0.3 repeating. So negative 1/3. And so we have them all down. And now it asks us which ones are irrational. Let me just clean up this 3 for a second. And if we look at it, the square root of 3 is irrational, and so is pi. And that takes care of the practice set. So all